Hi guys, Kim here with Art Classes for Kids. Thanks for joining us today. It's gonna be really fun. We're gonna be sculpting with clay, and today, sculpting with me is Lily. So today's project is one of my favorites and it's super popular in my classes. And since it's Easter week, we're gonna do a pop art bunny. Let's tell them a little bit about it. So what we're going to be doing is a little clay sculpture bunny inspired by the artist KAWS. That's his name that he uses as an artist, and his real name is Brian Donnelly. Here's an image of one of his rabbit sculptures, which is inspired by Bugs Bunny. Let me tell you what we're gonna need today for our, supplies, and I'll tell you more about the artist in a little bit. Okay, so Lily, what are they gonna need today?
What you'll need for the supplies, this project only uses very minimal supplies, so you won't need that much supplies. So you'll need any color of Model Magic that you have, or in white, or you don't have to use white as your second color here. For like the small details, you can use whatever colors you want.
Yeah, but basically you need one full package, which is a 4-ounce package of Model Magic, and then you just need another color for scraps. So I'm gonna take the blue one today, right?
Yes.
Because you want the pink one. And then if we can either detail ours with some white, or we could detail ours with some of her scraps. I could use pink for my, and you could use blue for yours. It's just what you want to do. So hopefully you have some Model Magic. If you don't, you might have some other clay around your house, like modeling clay or Play-Doh, or you could even see if your mom knows how to make salt dough. But if you want to order Model Magic, you can order some off of our website, or you can pick it up at Target or Walmart, or since people aren't shopping that much right now, you could maybe go online and order it and then pick it up and wait in the pickup spot. Okay, so we are gonna get ready to get started.
Oh, and also you need 2 other items.
Yes.
You also need a toothpick and some scissors, and that's it.
Yeah, that's all you're gonna need today. Gosh, what else should we tell them? Well, we love getting photos, and I wanna thank you for sending in all the photos. You know what, yesterday we did a painting, which was a watercolor bunny, and not yesterday, a few days ago, and we got so many photos of that. It was awesome. So
different ways you can post your photos after you're done doing this project. You can email us at kim@classesforkids.com.
With your photo.
Yes, with your photo, of course. Or you can post it on Instagram and tag it with Art Classes for Kids, and hopefully we see your photo and respond.
Yeah, if we see it, we will respond. So let's get started. So what we're going to do is we're going to open up our packet with scissors, and we're going to take all the clay out. Whoops. Let me just cut it down the side. Yeah, clay is definitely the most popular thing we do with students. They always ask, when is it gonna be clay day? So you will get a chunk about like this. Mine already has a line in it. If you don't have a line, take your toothpick and draw a line.
Mine has a line in it already.
Yes. And then you're gonna divide it into 6 even pieces. So even though you've got it in half this way, you're gonna make it thirds across this way and try to have 3 even pieces. Maybe mine should go a little higher here. I don't know. But you're just drawing some guidelines, and once you have it in 6 even pieces, a 6-pack, like this could be my abs, a 6-pack, then you're going to take your scissors and you're going to divide the clay by cutting. And this won't mess up your scissors at all, so just go for it. Okay, then you can cut those in half. You need 6 pieces. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I'm gonna move this out of my way just a little bit. So I've got my 6 pieces. Wow, runaway clay. Okay, Lily's got her 6 pieces. Now you're gonna take each one of these and roll it into a ball. So you can just do it in your hands, or you can roll it on the table. I like to do it in my hands because I think it gets smoother.
Yeah, and try to get it as smooth as possible.
Yeah, and I love this clay because it's like marshmallows. I call it kind of marshmallow clay.
Yeah, some people prefer to it as like marshmallow clay.
Yep, and then yeah, there you go. Oh, yours perfectly matches our tablecloth.
Yeah, kind of like camouflages with it.
Yes. So hopefully, look over here because you can see mine really good. All right. So as I was saying before, the artist today, his name is KAWS. It's KAWS. And he created that name when he was doing street art because he liked the way it looked.
Yes,
when he put those
he
letters
did
together.
graffiti for a while.
Yes, and his real name is Brian Donnelly. And he's about 45 years old, I think, right now. And he's an American artist. He went to college in New York. And then when he was up there, he really wanted to make his art known. And he didn't go right into a gallery. He just wanted his art to be seen. So he made it out in the public. And his graffiti wasn't just like spray painting and tagging. It was a little different, which I'm going to show you here. It was where he would find art like a billboard that, an advertisement on the side of a bus stop, and then he would paint on top of it his character. He would change the people into little characters. This one has like a really long trunk that's like wrapping around.
It's kind of like an elephant trunk.
Yeah, and then all of his characters have the X eyes.
Or it could be a neck.
And then these ears that look kind of like little crossbones sticking out, or like little puffs, double ears on the side. Here's another one he did. This one was over a man's face. So you can see what those look like.
I got the last one to roll.
Alrighty, so if you put all these in a row, now this stuff doesn't feel sticky in your hands, but when you stick two together, it's sticky. So,
but they're very easy to pull.
Now I'm looking, and mine aren't all the same size. This one's a lot bigger than these, and this one's a lot smaller. Well, not a lot. This one's a little bigger than these, and this one's a little smaller. I'm gonna pinch a little off this one, add it to this one, roll it in, get it really smooth.
I think mine are pretty much
now
the
mine
same
are pretty
size.
much the same. Ooh, yours are. You did good. Okay. So we've got these, and these are going to become all the parts to make this little figure. Now this one I made a few days ago, so it's already drying out, so it's not sticky and puffy anymore.
But
and
it's kind of sticky on the back.
Yeah, and also I bent it up a lot to show different positions. And so now it's been handled a lot. After you make yours,
the parts are coming off.
After you make yours, you don't want to let it, you want to pose it and then keep it in one pose. So there we go. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to make the torso. The torso is the center of the body. You're going to take, whichever one you want. Hopefully they're all the same size. And you're going to roll this one into a can, a cylinder.
It's going to be, and then you're going to pinch it, and it's going to look kind of like an hourglass shape, but not too skinny in the center.
Now, I know we have all different ages of kids who watch our shows, and we even have some of their parents and grandparents watching too. So I'm going to show you how to do a really basic, simple one like this. But if you want to do it a little more detailed, we can turn this figure sideways so you can see where it's not flat and where its tummy sticks out and things like that. That's one of our little collectibles. So we've got this can shape. And then we're going to squeeze it in a little in the top and make it a little narrower. And it looks like an hourglass a little bit like. So the waist of your torso is going to be a little smaller. And it goes right here, and then you're going to set it down, and we're going to start laying out our figure. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to move this out of the way. And then I'm going to have this right here. Then right here I'm going to put this down so you can see it. Let's bring it up a little higher. There we go. Okay, so you got that, Lily? Set yours right over here. Or you can do yours towards you, and then I'll do mine towards them. Okay, so the next thing you're going to do is going to be easy. It is taking this round ball, and this is going to be the head. If you want a really big head, then look for your biggest ball out of your whole assortment. Once you get that really smooth ball, then what I want you to do is put it right on top of the torso. So now they're stuck together like that. It looks like an upside down exclamation point, but it's gonna be head and torso. Okay, so see, they're already stuck together. That's why I love this clay. If you've never used this clay before, if you get a packet that's white, you can take pieces, like break off little pieces at a time, take like Crayola markers or some kind of a non-toxic marker and paint on top of it with a marker or color on top of it with marker, and then knead it together, mush it, wedge it, and then all of a sudden you color the clay. So you can have any kind of custom colors you want. Okay, Lily's got that going. Make sure that your head is not like an oval, it's more like a ball, okay? And then we're gonna get our third ball of clay. You about ready though? Let's see how it looks. Okay, go ahead, lay it down. Now we're gonna get our third ball of clay and our scissors. So the third ball of clay, you're gonna cut it in half. And now you've got two pieces, just like this. These are going to become the legs. Except there's gonna be some extra too. So let me show you what to do. You're gonna roll these into little logs, like this. Okay, and then I'm gonna do another one here. So I've got two of these, but I only want these as long as the torso is. So this length is going to match this length. Here to here, you see? This length matches this length. So I'm going to hold this up to here and go, wow, if it was that length, it would be that long right here. So then I cut it off. Now I need both of them the same length.
It kind of made mine a bit skinny.
Yep. So these are my two legs. I haven't put them on yet. I'll wait for you guys. You don't want your legs too skinny or you won't be able to stand it up later if you choose to have it be a stand-up bunny. Now you're probably wondering, gosh, what does KAWS and Bugs Bunny have to do with each other? Well, the artist KAWS, Brian Donnelly, before he was known as a famous contemporary artist, he was a commercial artist. That means he got paid every day to go to work and do art. And his job was that he did backgrounds for Disney animation, like TV shows that were animated. So he would go to work and he knew how to work as an artist when you get asked to make something specific and then you're being paid to do it that way. So he loved characters. He loved all the Disney characters, Mickey Mouse and things like that. And he loved the Sesame Street characters. He also loved The Simpsons. And he liked like Sonic and all the Nintendo, Super Mario, all those characters. So he took a lot of those characters and he gave them the twist of his X eyes and little ears and things like that. Like here you can just see where he just X'd the eyes. And then on The Simpsons, they already have the overbite. So this image right here is an image that The Simpsons actually did a parody on the Beatles album Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Heart Club Band. And then KAWS did a parody of The Simpsons doing a parody. So then KAWS came in and called it the KAWS album because it was an album cover, and also made a lot of the characters have the X eyes and have the little overbite with the little, teeth hanging out. So what he liked to do is he liked to manipulate iconic characters that people were familiar with in the pop culture. And he's sort of like our most modern, I would say he's our most modern pop artist of the time. And now he sells all different types of art. He sells everything from these little toy figurines to t-shirts and to $1 million paintings and $1 million sculptures. So moving on to back to the legs. So we are going to take these legs and we're going to stick them right on like this. Just stick them on and you can blend them in a little if you want, but you don't want to change the shape of your torso too much. And you want a little space between the legs if you can. So once you start squeezing it, it starts becoming that, but you don't want it to get too thin. Then we're gonna take these and we're gonna make the shoes out of these two things. So go ahead and just stick them on. You got it, Lil? Okay, so next with your scraps, You're gonna cut the scraps probably in, not in evenly in half, maybe 2/3 and 1/3. Because what you're gonna do is you're going to take the smaller piece and you're gonna roll a little worm, and it's going to be this part right here that goes around the edge of the shoe. And then the other part is going to be the bottom part of the shoe. So I've got these two skinny pieces, like this, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna wrap them around the bottom of the feet, and then I'm going to cut it. So I might have a little bit left over, save that. So I just go like that. It kind of looks like it's at the bottom of a pant leg or something. Then I'm gonna do this one. Where they connect, I put it in between the two legs so it doesn't show so much. And then I cut this one, and I stick it on there. All right. Now take these scraps, and with each scrap, you're gonna add it to the shoe scrap. Now we're gonna roll a ball again, get it nice and smooth. So now I have that, and now I have this one. Okay, once I get it rolled really good, and it's smooth and it doesn't have like cracks, now I'm gonna roll it into like an Easter egg shape. I'm gonna roll it more into an oval instead of a round ball. More like an oval. Kind of like that. So I've got two ovals. Now these are gonna go, I'm gonna pull this up a little higher. These are gonna go right here, and they're sticking up higher than the legs. So just push them down, and push them down. And later, now as you work with Model Magic, it begins to slowly dry. It stays sticky for like a few hours, and then after that, it'll start to dry and it won't be sticky anymore. Right now it's nice and moist so you can just stick pieces together. Oh, those shoes came out really good, Lily.
So I kind of put like a dent in the, like kind of towards the back so that it could be like the foothold kind of shape.
So far we've got torso, we've got the head, we've got the legs, we've got the shoes. And next, get ready to do the third ball. Now we're gonna roll that up.
You're only gonna be using 4 of your balls for this.
Yeah, you might use some extra scraps though.
Yes.
For some other things. But you might just share this with whoever you're doing art with, if you're doing art with anybody, because they could use your color for detailing if you wanted to. Okay, are you ready for the next step? Okay, so the next step is you've got your next ball, which is, this is about your 4th ball. You're gonna cut this in half. And you're gonna take 1/2 and just set it aside with these other 2. So this is what I have left. I have that much left.
You have 2 1/2.
Yep. So I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna roll this into a log. And then I'm gonna take that log and I'm gonna divide it in 2. I take my toothpick and go, that looks like the center. If that's the center, I'm going to cut it. Now, I don't want my arms as fat as my legs. I want them a little thinner, so I'll roll this out a little longer. I'll roll this one out a little longer. I've got to make sure they're the same length. If they aren't, I roll it some more. Now they're the same length. Now, when you first saw this, you might have thought, gosh, I don't know how to make that. Any kind of sculpture that you want to make, if you just break it down into geometric shapes, it's a lot easier to come up with all the parts and then just putting all the parts together, because it can be overwhelming. Okay, so now you're going to take these and you're going to put these right attached to the side of the top of the torso. So you go to the torso, put it on the side just like that, and then your arm is coming down about like this. You don't want it to come too long towards the legs. Right where the torso ends is right about where these arms should end.
So if they are a bit long, you could cut them.
You can cut them if they're too long, but then you can also push them up so they're thick and strong at the top. So you have this because you're going to make it longer when you add the gloves. This is only the part right here.
I'm gonna cut mine.
Okay, Lily's gonna trim hers.
And I can add this to my scraps.
Yeah? Okay, so now we're going to use the second half of that. And the second half of that, we're going to cut it in half. So divide that in half, cut it, and we're gonna make the Bugs Bunny ears. So yeah, so Bugs Bunny. Bugs Bunny was like a Warner Brothers character. So, you know, besides Disney and Simpsons and Nintendo figures, he also liked the Warner Brother figures, which would be like Tweety Bird and Sylvester and Bugs Bunny, you know, and all these. So you're gonna make 2 circles like this, and then you're gonna flatten them. You're still gonna have some left. You're gonna flatten these out. And then you're gonna say, oh my gosh, are these too long? Well, how long are they? Well, I lock my fingers together and I go, oh, an ear's that long? It's about the same length as the face. So if the face is this long and I lock it together, then my ears are too long. So I can figure it out. I can just go like that.
My face is really small.
So I'm cutting mine.
My face is really small, so.
Is it? Then you need smaller ears. Okay, so you got, so this is the length I should have for my ears. So I'm gonna cut it. And once again, if you want to adjust or check, just go, oh, is it the same length as my head? Then that's the right length of your ear. Then you're just going to put these and just stick them on. Try to get them going straight up if possible. Pretty straight. So just gonna hook those on. You can turn to the back and rub them in a little bit if you want. So far you're like this, but see, this clay hasn't stiffened up yet, so that's why we can't stand them up yet. But after a few hours, you'll be able to stand them up. Alrighty. So we've got our 2 ears now. My ears still don't look like they're the same size. So one of mine is a lot thicker than the other. You can always trim them with your scissors. Make them the same size. I'm gonna make mine the same exact size. Okay, those are my scraps. So I just cut mine and made them the same size. Now mine look a little bit better. Okay, and when I handle my clay, I try not to squeeze it and, you know, change the shape too much. You can always rub it and smooth it. It's like you're burnishing it with your finger. Okay. Looking pretty good, Lily. Now you're gonna take your scraps and stick you've got 2 whole balls left, but then you have scraps right here. These little scraps, you're gonna roll them in a ball first and get them smooth again. Okay, we're gonna get Lily caught up and then we're gonna go back to this next instruction. All right, okay, so now take your scraps and go ahead and put them in a ball. And then you're gonna roll this into a worm. And this worm is it's about the size of that like one that you wrapped around the top of the shoe, maybe a little bit fatter. And then this is going to be this overbite kind of, you know, what does that remind me of? Of like in Pirates of the Caribbean where there's that octopus guy or something. I don't know, it has that wiggly face. So you're gonna have this bite right here like that. So you're just gonna take a piece and you're going to
kind of like a mustache.
Yeah, it's kind of like a mustache, but it's mouth. So you're gonna put it here. Yeah. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stick it at the bottom of the face. It can't stick out farther than the torso. And then I'm gonna rub it in. I'm gonna try to smooth it in, burnish it in. to the face.
Mine's pretty long.
Yeah, that's way too long. About half that. Because it spreads out once you start rubbing it. So now I'm gonna rub it in. And I can take my fingernail and just kind of smooth it in there. As the clay starts to dry, it kind of spreads out a little bit. So I did that.
So you don't want to push it down completely.
Yeah, you just kind of smooth it.
Yeah, just smooth it so that it like blends in with the face.
And once you feel like you got it pretty smooth, you take your toothpick and you make a little line in the middle like this. And then you're gonna do one to the right and one to the left, where I just kind of rock my toothpick like this. See, Lily, how I'm just rocking it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So there I got them out. We're gonna do the final details of the nostrils and the X eyes and the X's on everything last. We're gonna save that in case we have to touch that area. Looks good. Okay, so now all we have left of our main color are these ears. And these ears, I'm gonna show you how to make those. So what you're gonna need is you're gonna take a 5th ball, just like this. And because you need a half. So I'm gonna cut this in half, save a half, and now I'm just working with a half.
Well, I guess I lied. I guess we're not working with only 4 balls.
No, but I'll show you. Well, we had a little scrap left, but it's just not enough for that. But you might have had a really big scrap left, then it would have worked. Okay, so now I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna roll this into a log. And I'm going to have 3 parts, 3 even parts. 1, 2, 3. I have 3 even parts. Now, if I have a bigger part, I'm gonna set that one out. And then I'm gonna roll 1 ball. Hopefully these are all the same size. 1, 2, those are close. This one's a little bigger. I'm gonna add this to that. I just took part of my scrap and added it to the smaller one. Okay, so I have this ball and I have this ball. So I have 2 balls out of my 2/3. So go ahead and catch up to that. Okay. That's good. And now with my other 1/3, I'm actually cutting this in half. Right?
And then you're making 2
smaller balls. Yeah, 2 smaller little balls. So now I have a smaller ball and a smaller ball.
Spheres, whatever.
So this is going to be the big ear on the right. This is going to be the big ear on the left. This is going to be the small ear on the left, and this is going to be the small ear on the right.
Well,
but
they're not really ears because these are the ears. Well,
that's because he's doing Bugs Bunny. But if it was Elmo or somebody, he wouldn't have had the ears. But that's what making it bunny-like. And I thought this would be fun because it's Easter week. Okay, so you've got this. Now I'm going to show you how to turn them in to this shape. So let's get everybody ready. Okay, so now what you're going to do, we're going to start with a big one. You're going to take it and you're going to take your toothpick and at the top of it, you're going to press it in a little. And now it's got a dent.
But not all the way.
No, just a little. So now watch what you do. Now you're going to push it together and now you're going to pinch the bottom and look, it looks like a little heart. Now you're going to take the pointed bottom of the heart and stick it right here. I'm going to flip this one over because that has a little line in it. And you're going to stick it onto the head. Let me show you that one more time. Take my biggest ball for the other side and I'm going to put a dent in the top. Then I'm going to squeeze it front and back like this a little. And then I'm going to bring it to a point at the bottom so it looks like a heart. Then I'm going to take the bottom pointed part of the heart and I'm going to bring it over to the side and push it in. And hopefully it'll be sticking because it's still sticky. I'm doing the same exact thing with the smaller balls, but they go below the big ones. So I'm going to press the top of it, dent it, then I'm going to push it forward and back, squeeze it, just like this. Then I'm going to pinch the bottom and make it like a heart. Then I'm going to take the bottom part of that heart and I'm going to stick it into the side of the face.
And if you need to adjust anything, like your line got squished or anything, you can always...
Yeah. So here's my fourth one. I'm going to dent the top. I'm going to press it forward and back. I'm going to pinch the bottom. And then the pointed bottom part sticks to the side of the head. So now I get this shape, you see? They're all stuck together. You can go to the back and then rub it, but don't lay it down because you might flatten the front of the face. So now we've got all the parts except the gloves and the little Bugs Bunny white fur and bow tie and the inside of the ears. And we'll wait for Lily to get caught up. Oh, here, borrow mine. I'll trade with you. Alrighty, so next, this is an option. Now, if you want your character to look like it has a fat belly, like this, which this is like his kind of like idea of a Mickey Mouse that he did a parody of, where those are Mickey's pants and his shoes and his gloves, but then he used these in a lot of his different things. If you want it to look pudgier in the tummy, then take the second half like this, and you can put this here, wrap it around, and smooth it out, and make your character a little fatter. But that's up to you, and it requires taking your time and burnishing it, which means just rubbing it gently over and over, and that helps smooth it out. So that's an advanced option. This one does not have it. Oops, sorry, Lily. But this one I'm smoothing it out till it's a little fatter. Okay, so I've got that, and I'm kind of like shining it up, smoothing it out. I'll keep rubbing this up. Oh, and we have one more thing. So on Bugs Bunny, he has a little, or he's making his character look like he's got a headband on with the ears on it. So he's wearing a headband of ears. So that's why he has that over it. So if you want to make that, what I do is I take this extra worm that was for my ears or whatever it was from, and then I flatten it out with my finger like this. And I can stretch it out too and make it really thin.
But you can make that a different color if you want.
Yeah, well, you can. And if you do, then you're going to cut it into a crest shape. So watch, I'm going to cut it into like a smile. So I'm cutting off the corners and making it look like a smile.
Yeah, have the two ends pointed.
And then I'm going to put it in like rainbow position, put it on the head, and go all the way around till it gets to the sides of the mouth, like that. Okay, it's kind of like the top part of his bunny ear headband. I don't know. Used to have a bunny ear headband for Easter time. They have lots of kitty headbands. Okay, so there we go. So now we've got that. It's looking like that. Okay, now for all the details, you'll need a second color. So with the second color, do you want to trade colors and have this be your extra color, Lily, or do you want white?
I'll have the blue be my
extra color. Okay, I'll have her pink be my extra color. Then you can see what one looks like with blue and white, and you can also see what one looks like with blue and pink. So either grab any extra color you have, and you won't need this much, but I'll just show you in this. So now we're gonna cut this in half. Woo! And then we're gonna cut it in half again. So now you have a quarter of a ball. We're gonna roll that out and make a long worm with it. That's pretty skinny. Now I want this skinnier than a pencil. That's a pencil. That's the same as a pencil. Let's make it a little skinnier.
So I want
it skinnier than a pencil because then I'm going to measure it inside the ear, and I'm going to cut a little piece off, and then I'm going to flatten it before I put it on. So once I flatten it, it spreads out again. So I'm flattening it, and then I'm going to lay it inside the ear right here and figure out, oh my gosh, I'll take my toothpick and mark it. Okay, I only need it to come to there. So now I'm gonna cut that. If I want it thinner, I can always cut it again. So I'm gonna make mine a little thinner. So now I've cut my little piece for the color inside my ear, and I'm going to put it right here. And now you see, just like that. Okay, that's pretty thick, Lily. That is enough for 2 ears. Because once you press it down, it spreads out. So you spread it out before you put it on. So now I've got this scrap left. I can probably do the other ear with it. Yep, I was able to do the other ear. So now, just with that little scrap, I was able to fill the other center of the other ear. And then this one, I think I can stretch this one out a little too. Okay, so I've got pink ears. Okay. Looks good. Okay, so we've got the ears. Let's work our way down. Now we're gonna make a flat oval for its like center of its fur. So Bugs Bunny has like white fur in the center of his chest. So I'm gonna go like this. I'm gonna take a piece about that long, about an inch, and I'm gonna roll the ends. And I'm going to roll it in a ball in my hands, get it smooth again, and then I've got it more like an oval, like an egg shape. Once I get an egg shape, I'm going to press it and stretch it. Kind of press and stretch like this. Stretch it out if I need to. And now I've got this shape that I can put right here. And it's below the mouth. And you can just press it and stretch it where you want it to go. So I'm going right there. So what do you think, Lil? Yeah, right, you got it. Okay, so you've got that. And then smooth it out by just like pressing it and thinning it out. That looks great. Now we're gonna take another chunk, and now we're gonna make a worm. We're gonna roll it out in a worm that's about the size of the thickness of a toothpick. So now you're just gonna roll it, and I roll it, and I spread my fingers out as I roll, and that's how I kind of stretch the clay. See how I do that? I pull it off to the side as I'm rolling it. So now I have this really long piece. It's like my string. Now you can have it go around the neck like this and just cut it where you think it doesn't show anymore. Like that. And then you're gonna make the bow. So it's however you want to make the bow. Sometimes I go like this. I just start down here, and then I roll it in a loop, and then I roll it in a loop again, and then I come down on that furry part and cut it. So it's like up, loop, loop, and down. And it looks like that.
It kind of looks like a little tie, but if you didn't have the bow, it would look like a tie.
Yeah. So while Lily's doing that, this is one of the little collectible figures that you can buy, you know, if you look up KAWS online. And Lily's twin brother, Jet, he loves to collect figurines. So he has a bunch of these, and then he has one of the bigger ones because KAWS did a whole series of these figures that look like those science anatomy figures like this, you know, where you see what's inside the human form. So those are some more of the other ones. Let me step those back out of the side. Here, I'll just put that one like right here so that you can see us working. Alrighty. So now we've got this. Next, we're doing the gloves, and the gloves are the hardest, but I know you can do it, okay? So what you're gonna do is you still have some of these little, if you have any clay worms left, great. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna need these to be thinner than we used for the ears and thicker than we used for the bow tie. So I'm gonna take this and cut it apart. I'm gonna make, it's gonna be the same thickness as what was around the top of your shoe. So you're gonna take this and you're gonna make a little worm, and now you're gonna do the same thing you did with the shoes, but at the bottom of the arms. So you're gonna go around like this, cut it off, and actually I like to cut it off on the inside so it looks smooth on the outside. So I'll just turn this around and connect it on the inside of the hand, where you don't notice it so much, if it doesn't come out so smooth. Okay, then I'm gonna do that to the other hand. Going around, and then I cut it, and then I smooth it out. Just like that. Okay, that looks pretty good though. Okay. We'll wait for Lily to catch up. Now remember, when you're watching this video, anytime you need a little more time, what can I do, Lily?
You guys can pause the video at any time if you need to.
Yeah, so you can always push that pause button and then catch up, because I go sometimes faster than some kids. So, there you go. And then some of you that are really advanced might be zooming through this. So, there you go, great. So now you're gonna take this extra one and make it a little thinner and go around both ends of the arms. Or, yeah, at the bottom of each arm. And while Lily's doing that, I want you to take another scrap of your detail color, and then I want you to roll it out long, and you're gonna roll it about this long. We're gonna make fingers and a hand. So with the hand, you're gonna roll a small ball, smaller than this area. Well, about this size. Let me get a little more clay. So I have a little ball, and I'm gonna make one more. I'll make one arm at a time so that I can review this twice, because the hands are the last thing that we're gonna add on, and before we scratch in some details. And they're the hardest thing to make. So if you get the little wrist part of your glove, then you're ready to get started. Okay, once you have that, you're going to take these two little balls and you're gonna flatten them a little, just a little, and then you're gonna turn them into a little bit of a flat square, like this. And this one, a little bit of a flat square. Gosh, they aren't the same size. They're close. Okay, so this is more square than when you made any of the other shapes. And this square is going to get 3 fingers and a thumb added to it. These are gonna become the fingers and the thumb. So now you're gonna cut them, and you can trim them again later. Okay, so out of those, Lily, you can make the 2 blocks. Or you can make the blocks out of these scraps if you want. Which, the blocks are the palm of the glove. Once you have these 2 blocks, then you're gonna start cutting little pieces, like these are going to be the fingers. You need 8 of them. Then what you do is you take these and you put 3 at the ends. You don't want to press these so much that they get flat. You want 3 of these, like that, and then you can kind of squeeze them together side to side a little bit. And then you want a thumb, which is going to be on the side of the block, like that. And that's kind of how you get your glove. Now, you're gonna hook it onto here, and then you're gonna decide if it's too big or too small. And then you can trim with your scissors the fingers if you want. But I think mine are looking pretty good. I don't know if they show up that good on this pink background, but there's my little glove. Hello. Okay. Next, we've got the other hand. So we need 3 fingers at the bottom of the square, coming off the bottom of the square. And then we need a thumb on the inside of the square, like that. So you can see like that. If you want the fingers to look like they're slightly different lengths, you can go through and trim them like that. So it looks like the pointer finger and the ring finger are not as long as the middle finger. So then I get that. So I had the little flat square here, 3 little fingers and 1 finger here, and then I stick it on the bottom. And I squeeze this little wrist part around it to help hold it in place. So we can do that. And now we've got all our parts. So in case I went through that really fast, I'm gonna show you the glove one more time. Just take a chunk of clay and you're gonna roll it in a ball. So you don't want the ball as thick as the arm. You want it a little smaller. You can even flatten it and cut it into a square if you want, if that's easier for you. So then I have this square like that, okay? Then you need to roll out some clay, enough to get some fingers. So you need 3 fingers for the bottom and a thumb. Maybe I'll make, not enough clay. Let's see. Okay, so here goes my fingers. So I'm gonna have 1 finger, 2 fingers, and I'm gonna roll that, make it longer, and 3 fingers. So it looks like this. Now I'm gonna put a thumb on this side, but on the other hand, you put it on the other side. So this thumb is just gonna stick out right here. And it looks like a little 4-finger glove, you see? Okay, and then that will go at the bottom of one of the arms. Now the fingers, you wanna stick them side to side together. See the line? 3 up, 1 on the side. Yeah, so the 3 fingers go like this, and the thumb sticks out. There you go, perfect. And once you have your 3 fingers, like squeeze them side to side together. Yeah, perfect. Okay, so now you can put that on your guy. Perfect. The thumb is closest to the body. And that one you can put the thumb a little sideways more. See how they're all 4 together? Yeah. You can put it up. There you go. Okay. Now we've got all the parts. Now comes the fun part. You're gonna need your toothpick, and we're gonna start with the shoes. So on the shoes, you wanna make an X. You can either just, here, my toothpick broke, but that's okay. You either press, and make an X by pressing, or you can take and make dots in a row that make a line. That's if you want it to go deeper and darker.
But that might be a bit hard for
5-year-olds.
For those little kids out there.
Yeah, but see how I got those little X's there? And then we're going to put X's on the top of his gloves. You see, right here on the top of his gloves. So now you're gonna go X, crisscross marks the spot. Okay, let's see. So I've got an X on that one, and I've got an X on this glove. So we've got X's, whoa, I got an extra hand on his foot. Okay, so X's on his gloves, and then the eyes. Now do the eyes first really light. You're gonna do it really light at first to make sure you like the position they're in. Otherwise you can rub it out, or almost rub it out. Then once you like the position, then push it in deeper. And then I'm making my X's. Sometimes I take the point to each corner of the X. So now I've got the X's for the eyes. Now if you want, you can do 2 little nostrils. It's kind of hard to see. You can see on our picture here where there's 2 little nostrils. So that you just, right between and below the X's, just make 2 little lines. Like that. And then you've got your figure. But You could either have him standing up, but you can't stand him up until he dries a little more. So maybe in an hour, you stand him up and lean him on something to dry. Or you can do a sitting position. Bunny, you can go like, you can have his feet like he's doing a straddle thing with his arms out, or, so there's a position, or you could have one leg out and one knee bent, like that. And maybe this arm over here in front and this arm on his lap. You decide, but whatever one you can balance it into the shape, then you let it dry in that shape. And then I think this will make a really cool springtime sculpture decoration for your house. So I hope you've got yours in a position, and mine is a little bit short, so we're gonna stretch it out a little and keep checking on it every hour to see how it's drying. I hope you enjoyed this sculpture. Let me see yours, Lily.
I'm still trying to find a position for mine, but I think this will stay.
Oh, I love that. I love how you have the arms. Oh, mine's taking a bow.
I'm making the arms kind of be the back structure of it, so
I love
it holds more. Kind
All
of
right.
like this pose.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, I want to thank you guys for joining us today, and I hope you had fun making the KAWS Bugs Bunny. I want to see a picture of it, so if you can, snap a photo and post it on Instagram, tag it with @ArtClassesForKids. And if you want to help support our channel Staying Free, you can look at our descriptions and there's a link, and in the links it says Ko-fi, and that's our little tipping thing. And we also sell some basic supplies on our website, which is artclassesforkids.com, and anything you buy from there is linked to Amazon, and a small portion goes to keeping this free. So I want to thank you for joining us, and keep making
cool art.